Growth program. I am so happy that you are growing with me. Oh, I'm so happy. I want to talk today about forgiveness. Okay, I want to talk about the house a little bit. That house, I used to dream about that house. Um, it was set up different, but I used to dream about it. It was beautiful the way it was set up, the way the rooms were. And I just remember I used to have visions of it all the time, visions of this house. And lo and behold, I moved into it. And it's the house itself on the inside is beautiful. I'm talking about the haunted house now. The haunted house is beautiful. It really is. And the way we had it set up, it was just gorgeous. I really loved it. But honey, that house is possessed. It's more than those three demons in there that I told you about. Because look here, I'm talking about forgiveness. This incident happened right before I left, probably within weeks before I left. I remember a lot of times I was drawn out there to the dining area. And I would go out there sometimes, just sit. That's how I saw those curtains, notice those curtains like that. I'm going to put a picture of those curtains up. Because in our old house, my husband he did all the a lot of decorating on the inside. He would just hang the curtains up. You hang curtains up. And he never tied them in knots. But for some reason, when we moved in this house, he tied the curtains up in a knot. And it looked cute, made it look like a little dollhouse. Until one day I was sitting out there staring at those curtains, and I stared, and something's telling me something wrong in here. Something in here ain't right. You need to fix something in here. And I'm in there alone, and I'm looking around, and I saw those curtains. And my eyes just landed on them. And all of a sudden, I'm just staring at those curtains, and they look like lynched bodies hanging from the windows. Because I'm going to tell you something. Back in those days, see, the house was built in 1920. Back in those days, when they would lynch our ancestors, they would bring home souvenirs, different things, take pictures, and hang them on the walls and do different things. I'll tell you something. And those exactly what those curtains look like. Some lynched bodies hanging up in there. And when I told my daughter immediately took them down. And my husband, he was just shocked. He was just shocked when I showed him the pictures. And I'm gonna put the pictures up so you can see them, and just different things. Okay, but look, like I said, there was more than one demon in there. Because I'm gonna tell you something. It was 30, 40 flies every day, and they would come to that window and die. Just come to that window and die. Then come to find out they in the blinds. They living in the blind. Ooh. I ain't want to talk about the flies no more. They were terrible. But I do want to tell you this. Like I said, it's more than one demon in the house. One particular day, I'm standing at the dining room, and all of a sudden, I'm just standing there. Now, this is weeks before I'm leaving the house. I didn't even know I'm getting ready to leave the house. This weeks before I'm leaving the house. All of a sudden, I felt this overwhelming sense of sorrow. An overwhelming sense. And I felt like I had stood there now for about 10 minutes before this happened. And it just hit me all of a sudden. I was just overwhelmed with it. Something was sorry. And I said, well, if it's up to me, you're free. And immediately, the sense of sorrow left. It was gone. It's like it was coming to me for forgiveness. But there was just one thing, because it's more than that in there, But I'm gonna tell you about forgiveness. See, because I didn't realize what was actually going on. But at the time, really, but I felt like I needed to say, and I forgive. I'm a forgiving person. I forgive, but see, what I do, I know how to leave you alone. I ain't gonna keep messing with you, if you keep on going down that road, I know what to do. I learned that very well, how to leave somebody alone. I learned that very well. And I'm going to teach you how to do it. How you can avoid that chaos, negativity, and drama that tries to snare you in. But anyway, forgiveness. It's hard to forgive, especially somebody who done you wrong, you know. You have to let go and let God. You really have to, even if you don't want to fool with him no more, you have to just give it to the Lord. You do. You have to give it to God. Say, dear Lord, you know, uh, I can't do it. I can't go to him. I need your help. God, I forgive me that I can't go. But can you forgive me, Lord? Forgive me that I can't seem to let go of this. And gotta fix it. The ancestors fix it. If you come with a pure and forgiving heart and you truly sorry, because I'm gonna tell you something, you can't hold on to grudges. You can't. It's easy to hold on to grudges, though. It is. It's easy to hold on to the hate. It's easy to hold on to the bitterness. It's easy to hold on to the unforgiveness. But you got to let it go. For your spiritual walk with God, you got to let it go. And the hardest person to forgive is yourself. Because I'll tell you something, I put myself in a whole lot of predicaments. I have. To the point where my own family was mad at me, angry at me. And then I didn't even realize, that I went through things for a reason. It's a reason that I went through everything I went through. It's a reason that I had to go through enslavement in this country, with the federal government. It's a reason I went through what I went through. I went through 8 months, really 9 months of enslavement in the United States government. That's how I tell you, I knew every single person from the top to the bottom who went inside that Capitol building is going to be charged. You don't rise up against the United States government. That's one thing you don't do. You just don't do it and think you're gonna get away with it. It don't happen. And involuntary or involuntary. Because I was involuntary. I was not duly convicted, and I'd stand behind that. But the reason, you can't fight the government. You just, them people ain't go, they can take it to trial if they want to. That's when they're gonna get more time. Because see, that's a totally different justice system. It's not like no state court. It's different. You get caught up in a whole bunch of stuff. I'm telling you, when I say from the top to the bottom, that's what I mean. Keep watching. I mean, you don't even have to tune in to the have and have nots no more, because you can watch it on TV for real now. It's real life. Anyway, people, so, that's one thing, that we also have to do. We won't have to move past this. Once this president gets out of office, we're going to have to move past this. And listen to this now. We got to forgive him. We got to move past him. We can't just keep these people. Everybody going to get caught up. And if they incited this mob to go down to the Capitol, everybody's going to get caught up. And see, we as a nation, once people have been brought to justice, and whatever happens, we have to forgive. We have to understand. I ain't talking about, you have to unite with no white supremacists. I ain't never said that. Because see, how you gonna unite with somebody who think they superior over you? You can't unite with that. So they in a class of their own. And now they finna realize it really ain't no such thing as white supremacy. They finna show them. Ain't no such thing as that. We have to forgive, because forgiveness is part of healing. Forgiveness is part of moving forward. If you're going to keep on holding on to something that she did or he said or happened some years ago, you're going to keep opening an old wound that's going to stay up for a while. And you're going to keep festering in it and picking at it, because you ain't going to never let it heal. You got to forgive and let that wound heal and move on. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to hold on to Trump and what happened to this country. I have even moved on from what happened to our ancestors, because I know that the people who did those things, the people who, just like this mob ran to the Capitol building, the people who ran up into the jail, and got my ancestors and hung innocent people. They never had a duly convicted trial. They never had anything. Nobody stood for them. But these people just took it upon themselves to take life. Life that wasn't even theirs to take, that they kidnapped and brought over here, and they wanted to torture people. All of those people, honey, got the answer. Just like the ones that ran into the Capitol building, they got the answer. Ones at the top, they got the answer. Ones at the bottom, they got the answer. Everybody got the answer. Even when you go to the spirit world, you think you're getting away with something over here, honey. You ain't getting away with nothing. When you go to the spirit world, it's some soul catchers waiting on you for your evil heart. See, that's how I was able to move past, because I was just as angry and upset just as everybody else. Sitting up watching what happened to George Floyd. It was terrible, sacrificial. What happened to all my other brothers and sisters? It's just so many to name. Sandra Bland, Eric Gardner, Lando Castile, Stephen Clark. I mean, it's so many that have been unjustly killed by the hands of the police. Police brutality. How do you take? I mean, and then I can't keep they pop in my head like visions. And I still get a little upset, as I see and Walter Scott running, and the police officer shot him in the back, and then put the gun beside him. But little did the police officer know somebody was watching. He didn't even know. He didn't even think. Wasn't nobody looking. Somebody always watching. You don't think so, but somebody always watching. May not be there, but I'm going to tell you something. You got the answer for your evil actions. See, another thing that this man didn't understand who shot Walter Scott. Walter Scott served in the Coast Guard just like he did. Walter Scott was a victim of the oppression of this country. He didn't want to go to jail for what? For some tickets, or whatever. He didn't deserve to die. Whatever he had going on, he didn't deserve to die. He didn't deserve that. But now that police officer right there, he faced justice. He got justice. So I hope that his heart, he's forgiven. And I hope that he's fixed his evil heart, while he in there. Because he's doing a lot of time. He's doing 20 years. He's doing a lot of hard time for that right there. So, what you think you're getting away with, you ain't getting away with. But see, what I know is every tub got to sit on his own bottom. People got to give an account for their actions on this earth. They got to give an account for their evil deeds and what they do to people, how they do folks, And so me knowing that, I was able to forgive the people who did what they did to my ancestors. I'm able to forgive. When I see different things happen, anger rises up in me for a minute, but I know, then I settle back down because I know God is in control and God gonna fix this, and God got this whole thing in His hands. And our ancestors are manifesting things in our lives right now. They fixing it. They fixing the problem. And we growing. We rising up out of this oppression as they fixing the problem. See, the good is working working quietly, while the evil over there causing destruction, mayhem, chaos, negativity, and drama. But the good over here working. We working it out. We pulling ourselves up. We coming up out of this oppression. We rising. We gonna come out with substance. We gonna live in royalty like kings and queens. We gonna walk in it. We gonna live in it. We gonna act it. We are royalty people, kings and queens, God's own. I'm going to tell you something, and no one is superior over you. No one is superior over you. You one of God's own. I used to think that. I did for a while. I really used to think that, that I was inferior, and He made me feel inferior. That Caucasian man used to stare at me every time. You had to take a dog out 2-3 times a day, and when he was there, he made it known. He would come outside and intimidate me. So now I know that. I know a lot. I know a whole lot. tables, the tables have turned. They have. And Africans are about to rise all over the world. We about to come out with substance. And people, I want you to walk in royalty. You are growing right now. You are growing with me. Greatness reached over oppression through wisdom all over the world. You got to forgive. You got to forgive yourself. You got to move past it. You can't hold on to hurt. You can't hold on to hate. You can't hold on to unforgiveness. Men that heart begin to melt like that heat, when the light coming in, begin to melt, begin to move around. Here we go. We coming up out this oppression. We coming up out it. We gonna be all right, people. I'm telling you. Just hold on and keep growing. Keep on with your spiritual walk with God. Keep your eyes on the prize. Don't let nothing deter you. Don't let nothing let you branch off, in a different direction. Just stay uprooted. Stay growing up, rising up in the Lord. You need God right now. Hold on to God's unchanging hand. Ride on the arm of the Lord. I'm telling you, because evil is up doing, honey. Evil ain't going to stop. I don't know why, because you ain't going to beat the Lord. But evil is up doing right now. But I'm telling you something. I walk in power. I ain't scared no more like I used to be. In that house. I walk up in that house. I step up in there like I stepped up in that courtroom. Powerful. In my spiritual walk with God, I got the Lord walking in front of me. He ain't walking behind me. He ain't walking beside me. God is walking in front of me. He directing my path. He making a way. He moving stuff out the way. Like when I got in the courthouse, they got up out my way, started doing different things for me. See, that's what's going on now. Stuff is getting out my way. I ain't got time for that no more. Evil getting up out my way. I ain't got time to be scared. I ain't got time to watch for no foolishness. Me and the Lord is doing some work here. We got to bring our people up out of oppression. And it's happening, people. It's happening. Something is happening right now. You can feel it. You can feel it in there just as well as you can feel the change of seasons. You can feel something rising up right now in the air. It's just a stirring in the wind, like America's just moving, wrecking. I think America been frozen a little bit. America's starting to melt up under this sun, up under this oppression. That's what's happening. So we coming up, people. We coming up. Greatness reached over oppression through wisdom. I just want you to know that you are one of God's own. No matter what you're going through, it's going to get better. It's going to get better. Begin to work on that heart. Begin to forgive. It was a journey for me to forgive. It was. It took a while. Once you do, you feel so much better. Even if you don't fool with them no more. And forgive yourself. Whatever you did in the past, I'm going to tell you something. We all are a product of our oppression. We are a product of our oppression, the oppression around us, the oppression that was put upon us. So we have to forgive ourselves because God forgives us. If you believe in Jesus, Jesus was a forgiving God. Jesus was a forgiving prophet. He taught forgiveness. That's what Jesus taught. He was a prophet. He taught forgiveness. So you have to forgive. Remember, African's spiritual. Religion is man-made. All religion is man-made. Africans are spiritual. People were spiritual before somebody invented religion. Somebody came up with it. The idea that, this is how to make people do what I want them to do, and then give me their money or donate or help me do this, whatever. How it came up. I church hop for years. I could never find a church. I tried finding. I just church hop. Went to visit in just different churches. I was raised up in the Baptist church, but I church hopped all my life. Just going different churches. But I knew I had a calling on my life. I knew it, and I taught Christianity. I talk about the Bible stories and different things on the radio. And until I was 53 years old and moved in a haunted house with demons. It wasn't the first haunted house I moved in, but this one here was the worst one. I mean, they was off the chain in there, and so I'm scared. And at the same time, I'm going through in my marriage. I'm at a breaking point. So God has to give. God came and showed out and helped me how to show me to be quiet, how to listen. Because every time He say something, I ain't gotta say something. For every action, there's a reaction. That reaction don't always have to be negative. Just go somewhere and sit down, meditate on the Lord. Because they ain't gonna have to fool by themselves. If you go sit down and go do something positive, like sit and look to the clouds, like I do, look to the woods, sit and meditate on the Lord, meditate on the positive. Do that, and some different things will happen. Because I had to learn. Sometimes you just need to know when to be quiet. And the first time somebody said that to me, I said, be quiet, But it's true. We need to go meditate on the Lord and realize that every fight, we can't win them all. We just can't win them all, And some people think they can, but we can't. We can't win them all. It ain't in us to win them all. It's in it for us to go through some lessons and learn different things and learn how to work out some problems and some solutions instead of going talking and telling everybody our problems, and telling everybody different things about us. And then people have something to talk about. That's all a lot of times people call you for, to have something to talk about. If you notice, what they call you for last time, have something to talk about. Now we really got something to talk about with these politics, but everything gonna be all right with that. Just like I told you, everything's gonna be all right. God is in control. Just ride on the arm of the Lord. You and his room up here, get up here with me. Ride on the arm of the Lord. So people, remember forgiveness. Forgiveness. I want to make my episodes a little longer, and give you a little longer of the word. I like to, if I could, I'd be on this podcast like just about all day, as much as I could, if I truly could, because I'm moved by the spirits. I'm moved to get on and talk to you about forgiveness, talk to you about your heart, talk to you about love, talk to you about going about it a different way, changing your mindset. That's what I mean when I say fix your heart, change your mind, and grow. You start thinking different. Hey, wait a minute. No, I don't want to go off into that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to deal with them. I ain't going to talk. No, we're going to get on something positive. Even if you got to get you a whole new set of friends, get on something positive. Get on building wealth. Begin to build wealth for your family. Stop giving all your money and when people call you, sometimes people call you seriously. People call you, they know you got some money. Sometimes you got to just be your own hero. You don't answer the phone till the money gone. Be your own hero. Take care of your business. Take care of what you got to take care of. You need to pay them loans and stuff off. Them credit cards. You need to pay that stuff off. Pay your bills off. Then answer the phone. Say, yeah, I paid my bills off. My such is done. I got my stuff taken care of. And then there you go. You gotta get on something else because see, you ain't got no more money. So start building wealth for your family. Start building wealth for you. Fix your heart, change your mind, and grow. We're gonna come up out of this oppression, this financial oppression. We're gonna come out of this oppression that we got ourselves up under. Our circumstance, our environment, this chaos, negativity, and drama. Cause see, we in this world, but we not of this world. We are transformed by renewing of our mind. We are legends. We are legends, and you got to think like that. Walk in royalty. Greatness reached over oppression through wisdom. I love you. I do. I truly do. It's not something I'm just saying. I love you. And one day, God willing, I'm hoping to come everywhere I'm heard and speak. We're trying to reach our greatness in the Lord. We're trying to reach our highest. Like the highest mountain, the greatest mountain that you can stand before and look at. It's a great mountain. You're a great woman. You're a great man. Reach your greatness in God. God bless you.